me recording doesn't really matter to us having class, but and now this barely ever happens, but one opportunity for this is I can always send these to parents and say, hey, FYI, we had a really rough class day today, and you can you can't really see you. You are about the size of 2 pixels on there. You're tiny. But what you can do is hear the class. You can hear whose name I have to call it. You can hear what was going on. So that barely ever is necessary, but it is a just little point of evidence of like, hey, these are the classroom behaviors that we're seeing, or what we're not seeing, right? If we're not seeing 7th grade appropriate behavior, the more often use for this is when someone's sick, right? If you're sick, and you can go as far as like email me and say, hey, when the video's done, will you email it to me? Because you can just get on YouTube and go to my channel and like view all the class videos. I have not recorded at all this year, but by how surprised you guys are, apparently we haven't talked about this. If you miss class, you can go to YouTube, search my name, and I am the math symbol, right? Keep calm and do math. I don't really do much on here, right? I'm not trying to become YouTube famous. So you have to click on videos to get to my videos. Then they're all by date. So this morning, I taught high school math 2, and there's their video. The video for the other math class is saving right now, and it's uploading as it saves. And then yours, after class, it'll take about 20 minutes to get uploaded. It'll end up there for today's class. So anyone who's absent can always go on and not miss anything. Right. Yeah. So anybody that wants to learn math can. But dude, so my videos, look at how small you guys are. This is not you. This is the other class. Even full screened, you are not visible. You cannot see you guys. Right? You're a blur at the bottom of the screen. So, now the other thing, because Ray, that's a very valid question. I never ever, and I learned this years ago when I had to record myself and send it into the state, when they are judging new teachers and saying hey, are you ready to become a full-on like permanent 5-year license or bigger than that? They have you send in videos. I never ever use your first and last name together. Right? So if you're a person who likes being called by your last name, I'll probably just start doing that. And most of you I just call by your first name. I'll never use your name together. Right? So for those of you we know internet safety, Officer Peachy came, I agree with all of that. Now, all of that said, I appreciate your concern. Nobody's really getting on my YouTube. That's not, it would take a lot of effort to try to, connect all those things and everything else. And even with that, we have a very secure school, right? So there's no way anybody's getting in or anything like that. So
do you ever check and see, your subscribers and stuff?
Yeah, I have less than 200. I would have to have over 1,000 to monetize my channel.
Wait, what?
Make money off of it. I have very little chance of ever being able to make any money off it. I'm not trying to. Nope, I have no interest in that. All right, that is long enough to talk about that. So, Thomas doesn't like doing chores. So, anyone actually like doing chores?
No.
I kind of like doing chores. All right. So, all right. Thomas's parents have come up with a system. They have a chore wheel. Now, vacuuming needs to happen more often. Clean bedroom needs to happen more often. So the bigger it is, the more often it needs to happen, right? The smaller it is, the less chance you'll land on it because, those things aren't as important. They're not as critical. So you and your partner, and guys, this is exactly like what you're going to see on the Mastery, which will be this Friday. And actually, we might start it Thursday. So please, if you've not been taking class very seriously and pushing yourself, we have a Mastery this week. Right? We have a Mastery Thursday, Friday. So that's also why, and we'll announce this now to make sure nobody is wait, what? These 3 homeworks, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, are due Friday. I don't often collect homework on Friday, but because how it works out, and we're going to end the chapter on Wednesday, those homeworks are due on Friday. probably going to start your mastery on Thursday. So if you're done with them, like you might as well turn them in on Thursday, right? Get rid of them. So on the mastery, you should expect to see a problem very similar to this one. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. With your partner right now, work to fill in the size of that wedge and the size of this wedge. Clean bathroom is the same size as vacuum. If it looks the same size, it is the same size. So you should pretty easily be able to write in how big is clean bathroom because it's the same size as vacuum. I will tell you, you're going to need a common denominator to do this. So work with your partner, figure out how big is rake leaves, how big is do laundry. Yeah, well, I'm adding to the story. The reason you normally end up having a chore wheel or something like this is that the kid won't do something and say, okay, I'll spin the wheel, you do whatever it says. Instead of like when I was a kid, I would say, okay, I'll do that, like I'll take out the trash, and my sister has to do the dishes, right? Like I would volunteer for a chore. I know, that's why I like taking out the trash. Anybody still need today's blue sheet? I will bring it to you. 127. If you don't have today's blue sheet, we're doing this problem on here. This is on your blue sheet. I put it on here so you can see it when you go to your homework.
I have to do all my siblings' chores. They do nothing.
Nice. That was great.
I only get paid by my sister. I only get paid when I have to do my brother and sister's chores.
Yeah.
With my parents, my brother and sister do nothing. They literally do nothing.
Well, I don't know. They do nothing.
My brother only does. The only thing my brother does is do the mowing. That's it. And my sister is not.
Mowing's pretty tough.
Yeah, but he gets paid for it and he just earns chores.
And especially because we have a mastery coming, we're random cards this week. We're using random cards. Except I just set them down somewhere.
12 years
Random.
Aha! Naomi! Okay, question.
How do I find it? Because I never take, is it turned to 1/3 into something? Because clean bedroom is 1/3, but vacuum's 1/4. So then what's the whole thing of it?
Well, the whole thing is one, right? The whole thing put together is one spinner. Do you have a suggestion, Logan?
Well, I know how much the things are worth the two little ones I did.
Well, if you know what they are, how'd you get there?
So what I did was, I took the vacuum and I split that. So I split it into 3 pieces because that's how much it would be, and it would probably be 1/7.
Wait, you split it into 3. How'd you know it was 3 pieces?
Because
So you made vacuum, you split this, and you made it 3.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't disagree. However, it's 3 out of what? Max them?
You need to first. I'm giving you a hint. Times 4 and 3.
So Max identified we do not have common denominators. We have a denominator 3 and denominator 4. The way that always works, multiply them by each other. What do you get? 12. So Max is telling us make your denominator 12. Over here and over here. How do we go from 4 to 12? Well, times 3. So times 3 times 3. This wedge, 3/12, that's the same as 1/4. And then 1/3, what do I multiply by here? By 4. So it becomes 4/12. So if this is 4/12, this section is 3/12. 1/12. How big is clean bathroom? Also 3/12. And then if I go gather up what I have. Yeah, I have 4, 3, and 3. What's 4 plus 3 plus 3? 10. Somebody shouted out. So if I have 10/12 taken up, how much do I have left? 2/12. So each of these must be 1/12. So that's 1/12 in there. This is 1/12 in there. Questions on how we got 12 in the denominator, or how we solved that there's 1 for each of them? Please have written down this fraction equal to fraction, that 1/3. That 1/3 is equal to 4/12, and 1/4 is equal to 3/12. You can show that multiplication top and bottom. Any questions? Otherwise, we're moving on. You about took out Mrs. Hemmer. She was just walking up behind you.
You missed me.
Wait.
Any questions? Going once? Twice sold.
No, they're in the back row. They're still, people are still writing.
So still looking at the same spinner. Okay, still looking at the same spinner. I think I accidentally, I moved it down to there. So Thomas's aunt, right? And for those of you playing along at home, this got moved to the side. Crap. It's 120. This problem's 120, but I wanted you to be able to see what it says down here. So Thomas's aunt hopes that he will spin either clean bedroom or rake leaves. Clean bedroom or rake leaves. So what I want you guys to figure out is, what is the probability of clean bedroom? What's the probability of rake leaves? And then what's the probability of either of them? Right? She'll be happy if he lands on clean bedroom, because his bedroom's a disaster, or rake leaves. She'll be happy with either of those. And I got to do some erasing because my board got a little funky. What are those together? Together, yeah, either, right? She doesn't mind which one. It's either. You can still do it on the blue paper if you want. It's not, the question is not on the blue paper, but it's using that same spinner. It's using the same circle. 119 was, but 120 is not on that paper.
I don't think it becomes that this class. I didn't install them.
It's all good. You are okay, bud. I stole a lot of things.
Wait, is there a vacuum in after today?
Don't worry about it. The custodian vacuum is in the evening, so if you can just get the big ones, I'll get all the little ones. You can go back to the previous problem, but it is the same circle. We know how big clean bedroom is. We know how big rake leaves is. Yeah. Either. So if we look only at cleaning the bedroom, Naomi, what probability did we say cleaning the bedroom had? 4/12, right? Or we had 1/3, but then we converted that to 4/12. Ava here today? Am I just blind? Okay, that's what I thought. Luke, what about rake leaves? What probability did we say that had? You should have it written down on your blue paper. Rake leaves, this section right here. Yeah, 1/12. If you don't have that written down, please make sure you have it. 1/12. So when we go to do either the or situation, please write this on your paper, whether it's your blue paper or your graph paper. Probability of bedroom or raking. And I want you to underline that or. With probability, or tells us to do what with those fractions? Right? What do you think? Add them up. So that's going to be 4/12 plus 1/12.
5/12.
We add the probabilities together.
I can help myself. It was too much of an easy problem.
You're good. Yeah. They are each 1/12. So this is 1/12. The clean bedroom is 4/12. So yeah, the clean bedroom on its own is 4/12. Any other questions? That was a great question. Thank you, Naomi. Other questions? The or probability makes it easier. That's why we add. It gets easier. Because then if we said, she doesn't care if he does bedroom, rakes leaves, or does laundry, we would add more space that is highlighted. That would be good, right? What we want. Is that a hand? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of related. Like, so when we're starting out in the beginning of the year, are we gonna like start off trying to like do some things that we did last year, and then like start before we get straight into new things?
Depends. You guys come from 12 different elementary schools, so it's hard for me to answer that. There's 11 Worthington schools and then homeschool. So, yeah, there's 11 Worthington elementary schools. So it's hard for me to know exactly what you did last year. You probably did some simple probability, but this is getting deeper than what you probably had before. Yeah. All right, let's keep moving on. So now we're on your graph paper. Now we're on your graph paper. We're going to need to write down some info that we get told. Miss Nguyen, not exactly sure how to pronounce her name, allows her kids to borrow a pen or a pencil for their test. Right now, I disagree with using a pen, so we're going to explore this problem a couple different ways. She has a bag. Now, if you ask Mrs. Hemmer to see her bag of misfit pens and pencils, actually, I think it's all pencils. She's got a bag with hundreds of pencils, right? So does Miss N. So Miss N tells Stuart got his pencil. Darn it, Stuart. That 1 out of every 3 kids, 1 out of every 3 students that borrows something from her gets a wooden pencil. So go ahead and write that down. 1 in 3 gets a wooden pencil. And you can just write like wood is 1 out of 3. 1 in 3 gets that wooden pencil. 2 out of every 5 pull out mechanical. The rest, I should have highlighted that differently. I'm going to go back and switch this. The rest get a blue pen. I wanted to highlight blue pen with blue.
Oh, every 2. Every 2, 5.
I want you to work with your partner to determine what's the probability we get a pen. Like, the blue pen is the only choice up there, right? Now, we'll come back to their questions. I'm not asking you what they're asking you right now. We'll come back to their questions. I just want you at first, what's the probability of getting a blue pen? Okay, this is not what they're asking you. This is what I'm asking you.
Oh, I know.
Talk with your partners. If you already know, you should probably help somebody else, man. That's why you're getting stuff done so fast, too. You're not working with anyone.
I'll just be quiet.
First thing you should be thinking about is common denominator. Yep. What is the probability? Probability we get a blue pen. I keep moving things around. It's problematic when I walk backwards. Yes. It doesn't matter how many kids there are. We're talking about the bag. This mystery bag of pens and pencils. So our probabilities that we have right now are 1/3 and 2/5.
Good afternoon, Phoenix. Please pardon the
So they don't
interruption.
have the same
We have a
amount.
few different announcements for
We
today.
don't like that.
First, if you happen to have your Phoenix Handbook sign-off form or your cookout money to turn in, please drop it off at the office. Winter athletics information has been posted from Worthing Way. If you're interested in winter athletics, please keep an eye out on the neighborhood website. We also have actors boot camp information from Worthing Way and information on the Cardinals game. Thank you.
I asked him twice and he said not to say. So maybe a word for you that you actually saw.
That will work. Yeah, but this is the issue of not having a book. You should have everything that everything you need.
Yeah, I can't even see you keep on moving. I just started.
All right, Ava, you had left us when I tried to call you just a minute ago. The first thing we want to think about here is our denominators, right? How did your thought process lead you?
I just did 15 times 3.
So, guys, I got some people, as I walk around the room, that this is taking longer than it should. So, the trick that will always work, and this isn't like trick in a bad way, but just it's one of the it'll always work, and therefore I kind of call it like a trick. Multiply the denominators by each other. So, when they're not the same to start, 3 and 5, Ava said, well, yeah, I just multiplied the 5 by 3, and then I multiplied the 3 by 5. And what I do on the bottom, I have to do on top, right? So she said, turn this into 15. What's my numerator turn into? 6. Please, on your paper, have shown that this was a times 3. Remember, the multiples always get bigger. We're always going to get a bigger number. Or the same. Like if this was a denominator of 6, then we could leave it. But if this turns into 15, what's the multiplication? Times 5 on this one. Ooh. So hold up. Naomi's got it. She's taking us home. Say it loud. Say it loud.
Then you do 5 15 plus 6 15 get 11 15. That means you would have to add 5 15. That means we can do 5 15.
What is 5/15 and 6/15 put together? 11. So, yeah, but hold on. It's the very final answer that you told me that I said almost. Any pencil, right? Naomi just told us is 11/15, which means blue pen is what's left over. It is 4/15. Questions on this? Now remember, probability is what we want over total, but it can be simplified. So I had a couple questions come to me last week asking about, well, you said the bottom is the total, but the problem says there's like hundreds of things, right? The bottom is the total, but it can be simplified. So this is a simplified form of what it actually is, right? There aren't only 15 things in the bag. The problem tells us there's hundreds. This is simplified. So guys, if we look at the questions they ask us, what is more likely, a wooden pencil or a mechanical pencil? So Luke, what do you think? When we compare wooden pencil to mechanical pencil, which is more likely when we compare the probabilities? Yeah, how do you know? Yeah. Guys, make sure that you, because this is going to be on your test too, to compare probabilities, the denominators have to match. So Luke said, well, when I compare the 5 to the 6, because the denominators are now the same. Any questions? So mechanical has a better chance, right? Mechanical has a better chance, just barely, but mechanical has a better chance. The either situation we added, right, and we already got our 11/15. Any other questions here? Now we're going to help Felicia. Part of this year is trying to get you guys comfortable with working with each other. So Felicia is our classmate who has made a mistake. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. Felicia thinks when we add 1/3 and 2/5 that we will get 3 8s. Now, be polite. What would you say to Felicia? And not just 5. Okay. But help her understand why she's wrong. Hey guys, I guarantee at least one of you is going to make this mistake on your test, and it's going to be the one of you who's not listening to our correction.
Because with the fractions, you can't just add the denominators together. You have to have the common denominator, which in this case is 15, and she didn't do that. She just added them together like regular
Yeah.
add.
She treated this like how we actually multiply fractions. When we multiply fractions, we go straight through. It's easy. I don't have to use that word, but fraction multiplication is actually not bad. Fraction addition is a pain. We cannot go straight through. That's why Felicia is incorrect. We cannot go straight across. We need those common denominators. Yes?
Wait, did you already get the answer?
Hmm?
Did you get the answer?
We were just discussing why Felicia was incorrect.
I was actually about to say the answer.
Now, I want to show you a video, but before we can get to that, I need you to solve one more problem. Okay, I want to show you a video. It's one of my favorite movies. I have the book that the movie was actually made off of. The book's called Bringing Down the House. The movie's called 21. It's actually about a real group of college students who went to Vegas and made millions of dollars all by understanding the math.
Oh, just like
They played one. It's a true story. They played one game, just blackjack, and they made millions of dollars. Now, they eventually got caught, but what they were doing isn't illegal. All they were doing was math. So this is actually a situation where not only can you use math to make a whole lot of money, but math can get you in a whole lot of trouble, is what ends up happening in that movie. So, okay, so I need you and your partner to discuss this problem. I have a deck of cards, right? It is a regular deck of cards, no jokers, no wilds, a regular, normal deck of cards, right? I'm taking the jokers out. How many cards are there in a standard deck of cards? So this is what we need to start at. It's 52. So if you, hey guys, if you can't say that like right away, please write it down. 52 cards in a deck. If you don't know that, we need to start to try to memorize that. Now, I offer up to Kayla. I'm going to offer Kayla the chance to make a bet and win some candy. Right? Who doesn't want some free candy? So I told Kayla. I told Kayla, you win. Hey guys, can I tell stories or not? If I just have to teach, I can, but it's a whole lot less fun. I told Kayla, you win if you get an ace. Right? So we shuffle up and we start pulling cards. My first card I pulled is not for her, right? It's an ace because we haven't started yet. My next card I pulled is a 4. My next card is
a jack.
Yeah, a jack. Now I offer up to her. If you get an ace, you win. However, to be able to make this bet, she has to be able to tell me how many cards are left in the deck, how many aces are left in the deck, and what that then makes her probability on the next card, right? That next card I flip over, the 4th card, what's her chance of getting an ace? Talk with your partner about this. Kaylin, we hang out for like 2 minutes. Kaylin, we're done with class in like 2 minutes if you're able to wait. Like, you won't be back before we're done. Phoebe, how many cards are there now? Phoebe? Yes. You're staring at me like I asked you. How many cards are there to start?
How many cards are there to start?
Yeah, 52. How many cards have we already flipped over?
Right.
Yeah, 52 minus 3. Okay, there's 49, right? 49 cards left over. Alexis, how many of those cards are aces still? There were 4 aces to start. We already got 1. 3. Making our probability of getting an ace 3 out of 49. Now, we are out of time, but if you'd like to hang out and watch this video that I have that's very related to this, you are welcome to hang out and watch this. Sorry we ran out of time. Yeah. Yeah.
So is it possible to bring sauce to
I really don't think so.
I took math like at the beginning of ELA, and I saw that I'm able to go to open gym.
Sweet, so you have to check it at extension.
Okay.
Because you never know, grades could change during block 3. But yeah, if you're still good, you're good.
I might need, or I'm pretty sure I might turn them in, but I'm not sure. So I have one.
I'm not giving you new copies of things that you already thought you did them. So if you want to look in the bin, you can look in the bin and double check if you did that. Yeah.
It's just kind of like it when they were in Vegas and they were bringing back their money for their
Yes.
So
Yes.
they did use it like that?
They were in that movie. They were joking about counting cards as like that he is able to count cards and then win a bunch of money.
I know, but they did
So,
win
right.
a bunch of money and then they actually got caught and they got
Right.
what they were
It's
doing.
not
and they
illegal,
got
but
out.
the casino can kick you out. Yeah,
Yeah, but they got out before they got out before they did.
Yeah. I'm not seeing yours. How do you keep your papers organized? I don't have a lot of extras. Don't have your binder. Let's look for it. I see a bunch of blue papers not clipped in, which worries me. Bring your binder up here.
I saw that I think for a split second where I saw
So this is today, but then you need 124 and 125. Do you have a separate app binder? Well, where is it? Let's actually try to find the papers before you get new ones from me. Here's another 125. Here's 125. So here's 126, 127, 125. Right, we just need 124. Is the other? So I would check your math binder, but I don't know what section this is. No, I don't know what section of your binder this is. Oh, is that just homework? Is it behind the red is homework?
Yeah.
So then miscellaneous is the back. So you're just missing 124.
Wait, what did he did? Did he get caught
I'll
and lose
get
all
from
his
the by
money?
the end of
He did not yet. He gets caught later in the movie.
And then what did he walk out with all the money?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
I'll
why did not show that?
I'll turn them in by the end of the video.
Thanks, man.
Why did not show it then?
I love how all these rappers change. 21.
Oh, by the way, you need to change it for weeks for the homework board.
Where'd it go?
Mr. Hudson. Mr. Hudson.
Here, this is a good scene.
Oh, you did.
And that's it.